So this is an adaptation of the Bill Bryson 1990s book, this time starring Robert Redford. And originally, apparently, Redford wanted to develop this as a two-hander for him and Paul Newman. Of course, Paul Newman no longer with us now, comes to the screen with Nick Nolte, but that gives you a sense of how long this has been a sort of a pet project for. It is a long time. So the story is that Bill Bryson has been off traveling, small island, done all that stuff, come back to America, and as far as the version in the film is concerned, he sort of feels somewhat becalmed. He doesn't quite know what he wants to do with his life. He suddenly gets the idea that actually what he wants to do is to walk along the Appalachian Trail. So this is kind of like Wild, the Reese Witherspoon thing, in which he plays Cheryl Strayed, who walks along the PCP, the Pacific Crest Trail. His wife, played brilliantly, but I have to say rather too passingly for my liking, by Emma Thompson, says, why do you want to go? Why? What are you doing? You're mad. It'll end in disaster. You'll get eaten by bears. It'll be terrible. You have to have someone along with you. So he says, okay, fine. And he gets Stephen Katz, played by Nick Nolte. Nick Nolte during the fight.
That's not Nick.
That's not Nick Nolte. You want to hear a clip of Nick Nolte? Here we go. Here we go. Yes. Nick Nolte. Here we go.
Bryson, you got everything a man could want. And here you are, tramping around the woods with me. Seriously, what gives?
I don't know. John Muir once said, sometimes a man just has to get a loaf of bread and throw it into a sack and jump over the back fence.
Oh, I got you. Life's a little too perfect inside that fence, huh?
No.
Oh, you make sense, Bryson. You're a caged animal. You want to get back into that forest. Live a little.
It's not it.
No, that's got to be it.
So why'd you come?
I guess I didn't want to spend the rest of my life in jail.
What?
Just a couple of outstanding warrants I didn't show up for, stuff like that.
Jesus, Stephen, that's really not something you can run from.
Actually, you kind of can.
Come on.
Okay, it's Nick
It was, that was, wasn't it? Come on, that was better.
Why is he talking like
That's
that?
what he talks like. That's Nick Nolte.
That's bad.
That's how he does. That's the thing that he does. Every now and then it goes like that. And so the movie then consists of Robert Redford playing it straight as a die, and Nick Nolte being all gruff, and they walk along and they fall in with each other, and every now and then they fall out with each other, and every now and then they fall over with each other. And
Enough. Ordinary voice.
Excuse me, I watched the movie. I'm allowed to do that.
I know, but your voice is good.
Okay. You never said that before, but there we go. So, it's terribly flimsy, and it's open to all manner of criticism. I mean, one of the things that's funny about it is that wherever they go, women go weak at the knees. There's one bit in which they turn up at a motel and Mary Robert Redford, but Mary Steenburgen just can't take her eyes off him. And there's another section in which they end up in a laundrette. Nick Nolte's in the laundrette, and there's a woman who gets a woman who actually looks like the female equivalent of Nick Nolte, same sort of age, same sort of heft, and then she's got her pants stuck in the thing, and she says, "Excuse me, can you help me with my pants?" And then there's a whole sort of
Is it American pants or British pants?
No, British pants. He uses a different word, but I just didn't feel confident to use
Knickers.
No, they don't say knickers. They say they use another word, which I'm not. Let's not even go there. So
what's the word?
Panties.
Oh, okay. Well, just
heaven's sake. All right, fine.
Say
okay.
the word.
I say it as Nick Nolte says. I'm a bit of an expert on panties. This happens. And
this is more like Gollum now.
Yeah, that is. And so they shamble and they amble and they argue and they bicker and they crawl, and then they fall over, and then they get up, and then they fall over some more, and then they get up, and then meanwhile Emma Thompson waits at home wondering if they're ever going to get back, and we sort of sit there watching. I mean, the only thing that has any depth to it at all is the scenery, and the scenery is nice. I mean, it's the Appalachian Trail. There are some bits of it that are woody. There are some bits of it that are tinny. There are some bits of it. Sorry, cheap gang. There are some bits of it that sort of wide open spaces, and everyone that they meet along the route is just like classic thumbnail sketch character. It was okay. It was certainly no more than okay. I know people who are great fans of the literary source material, and apparently it doesn't have any of the kind of depth. So I've given myself a sore throat now doing Nick Nolte. It doesn't have any of the depth or intrigue or charm of that, but it's perfectly it's perfectly passable. 3:00 Wednesday afternoon goes down nicely with a cup of tea, Mrs. Flim Flam. I do wonder what it would have been like had they done it with Paul Newman. But, you know, I'm a bit of a sucker for Nick Nolte. I mean, I have to say, I could watch Nick Nolte stumbling and shambling around forever because I find him quite funny.